you mentioned in terms of the movement up the judicial ladder, referees and those terms. I think that in a real sense, when you explain to us what the General Session Court is, General Sessions Court is, explain exactly what some of those titles meant and exactly what did you do as a referee and that kind of information.
As a referee, you have the same responsibilities as the judge. You are appointed by the judge and you serve at his pleasure. You're still a judicial officer and you are still governed by the rules and regulations of the Code of the Judiciary. I was fortunate after receiving that post, because of receiving that post, I became the first African-American female to be appointed to a trial level position. And as a juvenile court referee, I did child support cases. I focused in on truancy issues. We did neglect dependent, which is a form of truancy, and we did visitation, things such as that, custody, anything that dealt with the children in on the side of neglect dependent.
You know, when we explained the General Sessions Court, we said Division 10, Division 11, 12, and etc. Explain, I mean, what does that mean and how many divisions are there, and give us some idea of the hierarchical structure dealing with that court.
Okay, General Sessions Court had until last year 9 divisions. The Metro Council agreed to fund 2 new divisions, Divisions 10 and 11, and they were to be filled by this election that's coming up. The General Sessions Court is a court, as I'm sure you know, deals with all traffic cases, all civil cases with under $15,000, and all criminal cases originate in juvenile court. You know, Tennessee is unusual in that it is a 2-tier system. A lot of times cases just go to the grand jury in other jurisdictions. Here in Davidson County, they first go to General Sessions Court for what we call a probable cause determination. And once the General Sessions judge determines that there is probable cause, the case moves to the 2nd tier, which is the grand jury.
And so it has to go to the General Sessions Court
first.
Some of those cases, not every case, some classes of cases.
Well, all criminal cases originate in General Sessions Court. If they are taken out, if a warrant is taken out, there can be a direct presentment to the grand jury. But you know, that's an unusual situation. Most of the cases start out with a criminal warrant.
And they generally end up in the General Sessions Court one way or the other.
Right, correct.
And that's where you meet most of those cases in your present situation. Now,
correct.
You met them as a referee first, and now you...
well, in the juvenile court, we don't deal on the warrant system because the juvenile system is not based on the same rationale as the adult system. In juvenile court, you can take out a petition rather than a warrant to have a case brought before one of the judicial officers. In the section that I dealt with, it was mostly neglect dependent. Now, those issues that if a child is not being cared for, if family members feel that the parents are not adequately caring for the children, or the parents are not around and the grandparents or someone else assumes responsibility for them, then they have to file a petition. In the adult system, cases originate by warrant.
Okay, and so in the juvenile system, you have quite a number of children to deal with that really don't have any home responsibility, or don't have any persons at home that feel that they are responsible for these children. These are what you call, dependent children?
Yes, neglected and dependent children.
Neglected and dependent. Now, what is the situation, and I hate to raise this question in Attorney ALee because we've got about a minute before our first commercial break, but when we come back, what I'd like for you to do is to talk about some of the issues and some of the situations involved in the juvenile justice system, because it seems that that is the area that you spend quite a bit of time in, and that is the area that you're interested in at this particular moment with Judge Shukoff. And so we've got about 25 seconds, but I want you to talk about that, to talk about the impact that some of the things that you're doing now is having upon our ability to deal with our young people. I think that wherever you look, you find that people are raising questions in terms of whether or not we can really control, quote unquote, our young people now. And I think that you have an opportunity to give us some information, and we want to try to get that information. I didn't mean for this to be a long-winded question, but you know, we have got about 13 seconds, and I didn't want to start that before we had this commercial break. But we will take a commercial break, and we'll be back with you following this short commercial.